Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We liked our movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained as pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the favorite bit by bit. Sweetie and Sweetie are here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Tennis Podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about movies that shaped their childhood. I'm Sweetie with an IE.
And I'm Sweetie with a Y.
Happy Tea-Day to
Gobble,
you.
gobble.
Happy
Gobble,
Tea-Day to you and you and you and you.
gobble.
Happy
Gobble,
Tea-Day, Large Marge Tennis fans.
Gobble, gobble.
Happy Tea Day to you.
Gobble, gobble.
All right, guys.
Nice.
Hope you're on your way to some epic Tea Day gathering. If you're leaving on Wednesday, good luck with all the traffic. Probably going to be a heinous hot mess. We are going to Cape Cod. Typically, we would be in Carol's basement recording a Thanksgiving themed movie or whatnot. This year, we're not, though. We're not.
I don't think we did that. I mean, we didn't last year either. Because, hello, the pandemic.
That's true.
We could have still done this at Carol's house if we recorded on Thursday.
That's true.
But it wasn't in the cards. So,
No.
yeah.
And I like to get an episode out, like I said, to Big Travel Day Wednesday. So for the 10 listeners left of this podcast, we're hooking you up with a new ep. So I put what's that called? What is that called? Broadcast something. Okay, I put on stories. Yeah, like what up with the Thanksgiving movies? Really not represented by Hollywood. There's really a lack of Thanksgiving movies, almost none. So I threw it out there, and takes place during Thanksgiving as like a Thanksgiving movie, right? So
The week of
yeah, the week
Thanksgiving, but has to
of,
have
or
the turkey in there somewhere.
has to have
I
a
would say.
turkey decoration or an actual turkey in there. True.
What's a turkey decoration?
Turkey decoration.
Oh, like a paper turkey?
Yes, which this movie had. Ding, ding.
I thought you meant a decoration on the turkey itself. And I was like, who does that?
No, nobody. So put it out there, and we got some good feedback. Home for the Holidays was one. Haven't seen that one. Now I can't remember the others. And then this one stuck out to me. Good list, sweetie. Good list.
Cool.
I can name one. Okay, whatever.
Man.
I'm not gonna look through my phone. Okay, I'm a professional. Also, I'm talking in I'm using FaceTime, so I guess I could still do that. Okay. Anyway. This one stuck out as one we should do. Actually, 2 or 3 people said you should do blank, and so I was like, "That's a good idea," because okay, let's just say
the suspense is too much.
let's just say what it is, because I was going to be like,
You should watch.
I was going to be like, and this blank person is in it, and they were in a big part of the 90s.
Now it's just the snowball effect to blanks.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get it over with.
The movie is Son-in-Law.
Son-in-Law.
Okay, so Son-in-Law from 1993, starring the one, the only Pauly Shore.
What's his deal? Was he like on the MTV circuit?
Here's his deal,
Is that
because
how
I had
he
to research.
really shut up?
You're correct.
Great.
You're correct. Did
Great.
you look into this, or you're just guessing? Wow.
No, I just from my own old noggin.
You're smart. Okay. So we're a little young for, like, I would say what was Pauly Shore's like key audience. You're right in the sense that he had a show. Okay, first of all, stand-up comedian had a show on MTV in 1990 called Totally Pauly. Now, that got a lot of attention. People started being obsessed with this personality that he had, let's say, that's very LA. I don't know. What would you call this personality he has? This, like, I don't even know if it's a character. Is it him? Is it a character? Who knows?
I don't know. This is him in all the movies?
I think so. Kind of, right?
But he's a character in the movies, but it's always the same. It's like if Pee Wee Herman, maybe it's like similar, but his name's always Pee Wee Herman.
I think, okay, the main thing that reminds me of Pauly Shore is this, like, affectation he has when he speaks, right? So it's like, cowabunga, dude, like this kind of like California-ish thing.
Yeah, it's like sneaky. It's like surfer with a heart of gold.
Right, exactly. Like
in this case, I don't know if that carries to his other movies.
Dumb or an idiot, but really he's not that dumb. Not like an earnest, like scared, stupid thing.
Yeah,
but
We're like, I feel like he's kind of playing it. He's playing a character because he didn't want to be a nerd anymore.
Right,
you know? Like
right.
It's,
right. In this one, now I can't say for real about what the other ones are.
We don't know the other ones.
I mean, Encino Man, he's like Sean Astin's like friend, right? I'm trying to remember. That's the only one I've seen like kind of some. Anyway, so he did Totally Pauly and then like blew up and then did like a bunch of movies in the 90s. So you're talking about Son-in-Law, Biodome, In the Army Now. Encino Man was actually the first one, I think. And then, like, people, I think, just got sick of him and got irritated by this sort of his sense of humor, which I think is, like, kind of crude, like ladies' man, but, like, crude about it, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
And probably just
like,
annoyed by the way he talks. Just what I was saying. It's, like, the voice that reminds me of Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
which is fun. Which is funny, and I did enjoy in this, but I can see from like movie to movie why that would be annoying.
Right, and it's the same thing that happens with all of these kind of character comedians, right? Where Mike Myers had a similar thing, Adam Sandler. Like we get fed these movies, and then we start to reject them before long because it's kind of all the same thing, and they're not really like switching it up enough.
Right,
and it's just kind of this. And after a while, you start to notice it's just the same thing with like different wigs, and you're like, are you fat bastard, or is this, you know, like it's just the same thing?
Exactly.
So,
and if you don't make that jump to like drama, let's say, like Jim Carrey style, then there's like no hope for you because you're right. People get burned out and they're like, okay, I love this guy's stuff, but I can't take it anymore. So
that's why comedy is so challenging.
I know.
It's like ever evolving. Whereas like drama is always going to be like the same level of acting 30 years from now, probably, but comedy's always going to change.
So true.
And I think that's like one of the main reasons that people say it's harder to be a funny actor than it is to be, and it's extremely rare to be talented at both sets.
Right, exactly. Exactly, sweetie. So Son-in-Law. So it turns out this movie is everyone's favorite movie that we didn't know, because I am telling you, I put that we were doing this movie today. I got so many messages from people being like, love this movie. This is my comfort movie. I've seen this movie 100 times. I love this movie. Whoa.
Who knew? Where were all these people?
Knew.
Maybe like people have recommended this to us in the past, and I think we've always just kind of like poo-pooed it. Because I was going to say, where were all these people like 5 years ago? All of a sudden, everybody loves Son-in-Law, but maybe, I mean, I think they always have, and we've always just kind of been like, Pauly Shore, ew.
Right.
So,
I mean, and that was my reaction. Learned. And we had not seen any Pauly Shore. I mean, had you seen any? None. Yeah.
Well, I tried to watch Biodome once because my friend was like, this movie's so funny, and it was so bad. And I was like, what is this drivel?
Yeah.
And that was the last time.
Right.
And I was like in high school.
And I was like, I went into it with I'd seen, like I said, like a couple scenes from Encino Man, but that's it. And I had like pretty low expectations for this movie going into it. Pleasantly surprised. Pretty cute. Not the worst movie by any means at all. Really funny in a lot of ways. And I actually liked the Pauly Shore character a lot in this one. maybe he just only gets worse and more obnoxious, but it was like an okay level on this one that I felt like really
Yeah.
it worked.
Oh, yeah, we need a Pauly Shore. Jimmy's not a Pauly Shore expert.
Jimmy, are you a Pauly Shore expert? No. Have you seen any
Forget
Pauly
it.
Shore
Get out.
movies? Yeah, he's just seen Encino Man.
Is it the same character? Has he seen this one?
No, he's never seen this one.
Okay. All right, forget it.
Okay.
Forget it.
Anyway, so who is in this movie? Pauly Shore, as we said. Carla Gugino. Is that how you say
Gugino?
that? Yeah.
I assume.
Yes. I can only think of her right off the top of my head as Schmidt's like boss in New Girl, who he has a relationship with and has to sign like a NDA because they do
So,
like
yeah,
bondage stuff.
She's Mike Flanagan's like muse
Okay.
actress person. She's in all those movies. So she's
Oh,
in
duh. Okay,
Gerald's
that's it.
Game,
Yes.
House on Haunted Hills,
Yes.
The Mom. So yeah, she's
Yes.
great. Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful woman.
Exactly. I should-
So young and sweet in this.
yeah. It's
As
just
Rebecca.
a tiny, tiny
Becca.
baby. Though really gave me a snapshot into if I ever dyed my hair blonde, what would I look like? I would look like her.
Clown.
It's
just like
your hair's
turned
too dark.
orange.
Well, it's just too
Yeah.
dark. It doesn't like it
Well, you
doesn't
have
really
to
get
bleach it.
Yeah, they obviously did not do a very good job with that.
Listen, he tried.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen as Tracy.
Sorry, she's just Tiffany Thiessen
Okay,
now.
Tiffany
Get it right or pay the price.
Thiessen as Town Sleuth Therese. No,
Town Sleuth.
Town Sleuth. Town Sleuth Tracy. Tracy? Yeah.
Tracy, yeah.
Yep. Brad Powell. Okay. I thought his name was Brad Powers, and I think I said that
Powers?
to you earlier today.
Yeah.
Brad Powell.
No, I
from
think we
Teen
said that
Witch.
a while because no, it was a question we had because no, it was a sweetie confusion because when she's sitting on the bed and she's like saying the spell, she says like blah 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 Brad Power, and we were like, his last name is either Power or Powers, or she's saying Brad Power, so it must be Brad. She was saying Brad Powell, but like.
I know.
Interesting.
I feel stupid
Okay.
now. Anyway, that's his his character's name in Teen Witch. The real guy's name is Dan Gautier. So cool. I looked him up. He is like he's Silver Fox now in his like headshot, and I was like, that guy's got to be in like Hallmark movies, right? Doesn't he just seem like a Hallmark movie guy now? Not so. He does network stuff. So cool.
Oh wow! I was gonna say
Cool
I don't
Dan.
know if he went far because he's pretty bad. Like he's just like the same guy.
I know.
Like he's just like the same
Oh, totally.
oaf in like all these.
But he was
movies.
like-
just like
he was evil
What do you
in
mean
this,
you
though."
don't want to make out with me? I'm so
Okay,
hot.
thank you. Because was it the scene when they're kissing in the barn? Because I was like, this
Teen
acting
Witch.
is terrible.
Word for word. It was just like they were. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was weird.
it was bad.
Good old Travis, the boyfriend.
Yep. Lane Smith, who is the dad, my favorite character of Perry on Lois and Clark: New Adventures of Superman. Thank you.
I thought you liked Clark's dad, and that's why you love that guy
No.
and had a problem with him being a bad guy in sneakers.
Yes, that's true too. But I love the character of Perry. You know, the guy, the Daily Planet editor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Lane Smith. Also, if you've seen My Cousin Vinny, he's the prosecutor in that who like has the cabin and invites Vinny to the cabin. You know, like Southern guy. Excellent. The mom is played by Cindy Piquette. I can't even know if I'm reading my notes right. Who is Ferris Bueller's mom, if you noticed.
Oh, I thought she was Noah's Arcade's wife in Wayne's World, and was like so convinced of it. And I was like, that's definitely her, but I guess
No.
not.
Ferris Bueller's mom.
Damn.
The little brother is Patrick Kenna, that you will recognize from The Sandlot. And then you wouldn't have a 90s movie if it didn't have Flea in it, everybody. Flea is the tattoo artist.
You know, glorious acting career Flea has had. I'm really impressed by his range of characters.
I know.
Let's keep him acting, folks.
I know. I mean, good
Keep
for him.
giving Flea
He's just-
weird bit parts.
He's just
Really
like so
appreciate it.
talented. I love it.
You missed the most important one, which is Brendan Fraser for all
Yes.
of 0.5 seconds. Great cameo.
Yeah,
Great
little
cameo.
Encino Man Easter egg, if you will.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I was going to say Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser in his element.
No, and he's supposed to be like the Encino Man, like the guy going to the Halloween party.
So is it the same character?
Yes, and like
Are these all connected? All these movies are connected?
kind of. Yeah.
Is it like Pee Wee Herman?
I don't know. It was.
What?
It's to be decided. Maybe you should ask Steve Rash, who is the director.
What? Steve, you know him?
Who has done a couple movies, famous one, but the one that stood out for me was Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't buy
Cool.
me love.
Cool.
That's why
So-
we like this.
Yeah, so kind of similar like style.
Good job, Steve. Love your work. I love it.
So pretty good cast, I'd say. Don't know much else about it. Trivia was pretty scant, not a lot going on with it. But enjoyed it. Was a nice Tuesday afternoon watch for me.
Yeah. Pleasantly surprised is the word. Mm-hmm. Very sweet.
And
Very much a Mary Poppins story kind of movie, if you will, which is like
I was going to
movies that
say fish out of water.
Well, that's part of it. It's like this fish out of water visitor who kind of comes in, who's like an outsider and helps the community or the family or the town or whatever. And people take a liking to them. And then this person kind of like saves the movie. And maybe they didn't know that they needed to be saved kind of thing. So you've got like Nanny McPhee, maybe like Chocolat is in this. Maybe Sound of Music is kind of in this too.
Wow, you're putting
yeah.
Son-in-Law up there with some real.
I told you. I disagree with
Classics.
Cher Horowitz saying that you can't find meaning in a Pauly Shore film because I don't know.
Yeah.
I found it. I found it.
This one had a lot of meaning. The beginning also, I got so nostalgic for moving into college. It was just gave me.
Well, that place was crazy.
That place was crazy, and it gave me like it was almost like Loverboy when like the college scene was like, whoa, like what is going on in this school? Like why is it like that?
I don't know if I would have. Right. I mean, like I feel like it would have maybe it did stress me out about college, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go to a party hallway. Just seemed crazy, but yeah. Good times, college, moving in day with all the awkward parents around the dorm, like doing stuff. And you're like, oh, parents.
Oh yeah, it just took me back. And also, this is just the beginning, but like very LA, in the best way possible, in the sense that like when I feel like Hollywood and like MTV times like took effect, and you had this like view of LA and Hollywood, which was like a certain
because
way.
Of Beverly Hills 90210,
Beverly Hills
which is
90210, exactly.
the best show of all time. And they are also, fun fact, class of 1993.
Oh.
Because I just watched that episode.
Oh my God, yes, you're right. Let Donna Martin graduate. So,
same colors, too.
Oh, yeah. So you have like that whole style going on. And then you have the like, let's show like the dumpy Midwestern town, which is like always signified by like those water towers with like the town name written on it. I'm telling you, if like a foreign person watches movies coming to the US, you must be like, okay, the US is made up of either cool LA where people are wearing like bathing suits that go up your ass, or like middle America where they're square dancing and wearing like cowboy hats and they work on a farm.
Or New York.
Yeah, right. So there's like 3 different places
It's like
in the US.
coasts, and then there's just like this other category that's like water towers.
It's crazy. It really makes me uncomfortable. But
Well,
that's just how the movies work.
We probably have similar misinterpretations of their countries based on
when I did
receive.
my term abroad in Italy, my professor told me that all Italians think Americans are either gangsters or cowboys, but like just from the movies that came out of there. So I mean, there's obviously like more movies that are not that, but who like those foreign people wouldn't be seeing them anyway. Let's get into this fine holiday film, Son-in-Law. Here we go. It's time for the sweetie synopsis. Yeah.
Sweeties.
Do you have a screwdriver? Sorry, all out of vodka. Okay, then I have one more.
Okay.
Chickens?
I hope it's the same one I have.
You guys have
Nope.
chickens? I love chickens. Are they extra crispy or original recipe? Which ones do you have?
Those are cheesy. But sweet. No, my favorite was, can I please whittle with you? Whittle wood with you? Like, he's so obsessed with that. Oh my God, it was so funny.
How about pardon me for saying, but you almost gave me a semi.
I don't remember that one. A boner? Is that a boner?
Talking about the mom.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was weird. Okay. Rebecca, what's her last name?
I don't remember.
Rebecca Bumpkin is a country bumpkin from South Dakota.
She's a country boy.
And she's a country boy?
I was just singing the
she's a
song.
country girl. And, small town life. She's graduating. She seems pretty smart. So she's going to go off to college in the big city in LA, which is an interesting choice. We don't know what school it is. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a party school. I don't know. I'm not sure
Probably
about
a
choice.
UCLA type, right?
But why pick? If you're in South Dakota, that's the school you pick.
I think she just wanted to get as far away from possible and experience new things, right?
Yeah. I suppose it was strange. But so she's off to LA. Her family drives her across the country and moves her in. Very sweet. Must have been like a torturous trip. She's got her mom and her dad and her pesky little brother, Zach, who's an asshole. And yeah, great road trip. So they get to school and her dad's like, cool, she's next door to the resident advisor, which is also known as the RA, which is who was supposed to be the law on your floor, but was just another student. Okay. So
here's
there
who
were
the
two
RA
ways
was.
to approach RAs, though. There was the cool RA who didn't care and would look the other way about certain rules, and then there was the one who actually adhered to those rules. Yeah. So you had one of those usually.
Well, I feel like the RA in most cases was some kid who just wanted to have his own room. Let's be honest. So you would do the RA stuff. I feel like they always had one name. They always had a room that was kind of coolly decorated that.
I mean, that's the perk.
Yeah.
Alice was an RA. My other friend Brett was an RA,
oh, wow.
I think. So yeah, I mean, I know people that did. I mean, it was a good deal. You get getting your own room is definitely a benefit.
Yeah.
But some people are, I mean, I think I probably would have done it if I hadn't been afraid of other people at that time.
I can't remember what the name of my guy's name was, but he was a senior and could give a shit about anything. And then we had one was a sophomore girl who was a little bit more wanting to actually advise. Yeah. But she also like didn't take any shit though. So I don't know. It was interesting experience. But no, my advisor didn't look, or was it anything like Crawl?
So yeah, Crawl is the resident advisor who is the Pauly Shore character. And he's like this crazy kind of like surfer, maybe stoner party guy who's like constantly on the lookout for like hot babes, and he's like videotaping.
But he's also like effeminate though, and which I thought was like kind of interesting.
Yeah. You learn very quickly, and I wrote this in my notes.
He's like a gay best friend.
It's an extreme quick shift. Yes, it's a confusing dynamic because he definitely acts like this gay best friend to start with. He's very open to her feelings and empathetic, and also has like tips on fashion and makeover, and like does a makeover for her. So you're like, what? Who is this? So maybe like that doesn't always line up, I guess, with like a consistent character, but yeah, you find him to be very sweet, and he gives her some really good advice, which is like, well, we haven't even gotten into it yet, but basically she has a terrible time because she's from South Dakota and she's not used to this environment. Yeah. So
Party
scene.
Scene.
Classic, I want to go back to my tiny shoebox dorm room. Oh no, my roommate's having a party and like this fat guy broke my horse statue. Like, super bummer, right?
That my pappy gave me.
Oh, pappy. It was made of, I mean, like, shoddy woodwork, Pappy, that, like, the leg broke. Come on. Pappy.
Well, the phone is doing
she's
something
almost
really
gonna,
weird.
What?
Hold
the
on.
Video?
Hold on. Yeah, your FaceTime is, like, fast-forwarding.
What? Well, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I
can
can
still
hear
me?
Yeah, but it's, like, freezing and then fast-forwarding.
My voice or the video?
The video.
Nobody cares about the video. Nobody can see the video. Only you can. Just ignore it.
Okay.
Just ignore it. God, now I'm self-conscious. So she wants to call it quits. She wants to go home. She's like, this is not for me. So Crawl talks to her and is like, I was just like you. And he shows her a picture of him as like this nerdy freshman. And basically he turned his life around because he started dressing different and just like taking on a new persona, I guess, is kind of what it boiled down to. And so she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And then it's just like, it seems like, snap your fingers and all of a sudden Rebecca has now changed into like a similar character, and she gets her hair dyed blonde, but it's really like orange and clowny kind of.
She is a 90s glow up, which is basically, yes, gets her
Animal
hair dyed.
And leggings.
Animal print and leggings.
And bustiers.
She learns to rollerblade, and she gets a tattoo.
Gets a butterfly tattoo on her ankle. So, she's having a great time. And meanwhile, her and Crawl just become like really good friends. And you're like, what's going on here? Interesting. Because Rebecca also has a boyfriend, Travis, who has stayed behind in South Dakota. I guess he didn't go to college. I'm not sure like what his deal is now. He's graduated. So like, dude, you can't just like wear your Letterman jacket all year and be like, I play football. Like that
way.
That doesn't work anymore.
Also, were you like creeped out by the necklace situation they had? So like she had a locket and he wore this like little key around his neck, which was like a pretty girly necklace. like it almost was like a best friend one that you'd have with your best friend, but it was like a couple one.
Steal.
Yeah,
well,
maybe.
a virginity one, because she was like, I don't want to have sex yet.
Oh, his penis was the key.
Well, I'm assuming that's what it symbolizes. Gosh, I told you there's meaning in Pauly Shore movies. Why did Share is so wrong? So she is just friends with him. Around Thanksgiving, she learns that Crawl is not going home. I forget like what his family situation was again.
He grew up in Las Vegas. In like a casino or something. I don't know. It seems sketchy. You don't know a lot, but long story short, he's not going home for Thanksgiving.
Right. And so she's kind of like, like, why don't you just come home with me and my family? So she brings him on the plane, goes to South Dakota. Her family's like, who is this crazy person? He's like very erratic and like yeehaw, I'm in the country, woo, and like kind of obnoxious like that. But also generally like psyched to be in the country, I would say.
Yeah.
He's just like he's into it. He's just excited. He just gets excited. But her family really doesn't know what to think of this, and her boyfriend Travis is even more confused. And so she tells him like, don't worry about it. We're just friends, blah blah blah. So then they get back to the farm, which is this like amazing farmhouse situation. I was like obsessed with that house.
Yeah, beautiful.
And the boyfriend Travis is starting almost like proposes to Rebecca. And she kind of like knows what's happening and like freaks out and is like, I don't feel good. I have to go. And like kind of like awkwardly separates that. Talks to Crawl, and she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, he's gonna propose to me, and he's basically like, listen, you have to break up with him. Like, you're not interested. Again, this is like, it seemed like, yes, gay best friend again, giving your cute friend advice. Like, if you're not into him, then you have to break up with him, and that's just like, you have to just do it. And she's like, okay. And so, unfortunately, as like many movies in the 80s and 90s, now Travis has decided to bypass the proposal of just them together and asks this entire restaurant, or was it was that all the family? What was that gathering?
I think that was some kind of club they belonged to, like a kind of a country club, kind of a situation, but maybe something else.
Maybe the Klan? Yeah, like well, it was weird. It was like very like Coming to America. Like, guess what? Like, we're gonna like I want her to marry me.
So weird.
Like, it's like weird.
What terrorist would think like that's the way to propose to a woman, like in front of everyone.
I mean, it was definitely a movies thing, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know of
definitely.
anybody that this has happened to
Definitely
in
not
real life.
And I feel like if you had when he first tried to propose and got that reaction, like he was some kind of like really like confident guy because he did not see the writing on the wall there and was like, yeah, let's do this big public proposal in front of like the whole town.
Or is he like, I don't want her to have a chance to say, like, I want her to like not be able to say no or something, you know, like he seems sketchy like that. So I'm sure that was part of it. But basically she kind of freaks out and Crawl, and she's getting ready to be like, I have to tell the truth, and Crawl feels bad or whatever and stands up and is like, you can't because I already proposed to her and she said yes. So now the title of the movie makes sense because now we are now operating under a ruse, which is that Crawl is engaged to Rebecca and they're like in love. So super weird. Like the boyfriend's like, why did you tell me you were just friends and you're actually engaged? Like, I mean, super red flags there. And like, I'm not on Travis's side. I'll make that very clear, but like, I would be pretty mad and suspicious about this situation too, where it's like, just tell the truth. If we just told him the truth, none of this would have happened.
I know. That's all I could think of is like, okay, yes, there wouldn't be a movie, but like, all you had to say was
just no.
Just say no to the proposal. Like,
yeah.
It's not that hard.
Right. Tell the truth. I don't love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Someone else.
We grew apart.
Right.
Yeah. So crazy.
You just want to have sex with me. Get over it. Go out with someone else.
So, yeah. So at this point, now they have to fake that they are engaged, and at least till the end of the week. And then when they can go back home to college, and then she can say, you know, oh, it didn't work out. Like, we're not. But they just have to like keep this up for this week. So obviously the dad has bad feelings about Crawl down to his name. He keeps calling him crap and like crutch and like every like
cramp.
My
favorites
like,
were cramp and crotch.
crotch was good.
Love crotch.
So, you know, and like I said, he is a really interesting fella, really nice, like means well, like super kind, you can tell, but doesn't look like everybody else. His typical
very
outfits,
perceptive.
Yeah, very perceptive. His typical outfits are corduroy bell bottoms, like head scarves or just, you know, regular neck scarves, wacky vests and jackets. He goes and gets some rustic attire. Like he felt like he needed to like blend in with the people of South Dakota, and goes to like some, I don't know what even that shop was, and gets like a cowboy hat. He gets overalls, but he like cuts them so they're these like tiny overalls.
He mods it.
He somehow finds a pair of cowboy boot mules. Yeah. So he's a very interesting dresser. So like we said, like seems almost like gay best friend, you know, bringing some
flamboyant,
which they don't see in this town. So right off the bat, he doesn't look like them, so they are against him, and they call him City Boy because he's from LA and like they can't do anything. So of course the dad is super old fashioned. Is like, well, how are you going to provide for my daughter? Like, well, she's in college and is like getting a degree, so why does he have to provide for her? But again, this is like South Dakota oldie timey, and so Crawl's like, well, I'm going to work on, like, I'm going to get a job. Like, I'm going to be a farmer. I'm going to take over this farm, like, when you're gone. And they're like, what? So then comes this, like, hazing ritual of him, like, being asked, or he tries to help out on the farm, and he doesn't know anything, but they're obviously not helping him out and, like, just basically making his life hell. But Crawl's such like a good sport, he just like doesn't care, and he thinks it's actually fun.
Doesn't care, actually tries and like learns new things in the process, and I think, you know, comes to like it. Definitely, he likes feeding the pigs at least. And you know, classic story, like I said, people over time warm to him. So like the mom starts to really like him because he gives her a makeover and like reinvigorates their sex life, the mom and dad's sex life, which everyone's like, yeah, we love him. We love Crawl. He gets on the brother's good side by like showing him he's a computer hacker as well. And he can like impress him with his skills. So now he likes him. And so really the last person is getting the dad on his side. And he does that, and things get a little dodgy. There's some misunderstandings. There's a bachelor party that goes awry when evil Travis cooks up some scheme to, do something. And so very awkward scene when Tracy, Kelly Kapowski, comes into the room and is like, I'm going to strip with like all these men. Gross.
Is this country stripping?
And she knows, knows them all. Like, that's what makes it the creepiest. It's like, actually, speaking of Beverly Hills 90210, there's a episode where they like invite a stripper over, and then like Andrea comes by accident, and they have to like pretend that they're the stripper's their friend.
Oh, God.
So they all just get to know each other for like 4 hours. And then Andrea finally leaves, and the stripper's like, okay, time to take off my clothes. And they're like, whoa. Like, you can't do that now. We know you. Like, we know you too much. So it's like, I can't imagine, like, this is a very small town. I know she knows all these people.
It was weird.
It was a weird scene.
I felt bad for Tracy Town Sloot. And
I felt very bad for her.
But she had been with what's his name while Rebecca was in college. So they were like, Travis. They were like secretly dating. So he like made her do that. But Travis's little scheme is to get both her and Crawl like really drunk and then get them in like a compromising. Was it drugged?
Yeah, that's why she found that pill bottle, and that's why he like passed out.
Oh, okay, right. So they both pass out, and they put them in a barn together, and then Rebecca goes to find him and finds him with his like pants down, and Tracy like with him. So she assumes worse. Now it's like a weird thing because they at this point were like starting to kind of say they had feelings for each other. I guess Crawl
almost
and
kiss.
her, yeah. So she's kind of like oh, I guess like we really are engaged. Like, oh, it's like this is like really gonna happen. We're not just friends. And then all that goes out the window. Now this was what's his name's plan all along because he needed to get rid of his side piece, Tracy, and then needed Rebecca to know that Crawl was like slimy and hooking up with like somebody else, right? So bad news all around.
But his scheme gets revealed. Tracy puts 2 and 2 together because she's like, I didn't drive my car here and I don't remember anything. And I found this pill bottle in my car. What an asshole. Like drugging people?
I
Oh
know.
my God.
So sketchy. Well, I didn't know what was going on in that scene because they were like at the bar and he kept like giving weird eyes to Theo. And at first I was like, did he pee in this? Like I couldn't figure out like what they were doing.
He put the pill in it. Remember he like gives it to Tracy and he's like, and she like takes a sip and he's like, no, you got to drink that fast or like whatever. Like suck it down. Yeah. So because it was, he wanted a drug.
Wicked sketchy. And I feel like it really took like a dark turn when she gets she gets into the car and is like crying because she's like, basically like, was I like raped or like, you could just tell like stuff.
Is this a Lifetime movie?
Yes. And then they have these camera angles where it's like one tear is like going down like Tiffany Thiessen's face. And I was just like, oh my God, this is getting,
it's very 90210, like I said.
Really, really, really sad.
Which she is in.
Yes, I know. That crazy.
Full circle.
Valerie. But so they figure it out. She comes back. By this time it is now Thanksgiving. So big tea day, beautiful turkey gets brought out, which, that was a funny scene that Crawl helped kill. He again is like being hazed by Theo, the like bully farmhand, and the dad, and they make him go kill one of the turkeys. So he like goes in with this big machete, but then is doing all these weird moves with the turkey, and the turkey ends up having a heart attack. So he doesn't have to like kill it. So then he like brings it into the house and they're like, you got to pluck that turkey. Like it's your job. You got to pluck all the feathers off. So he starts to pluck the feathers off and the turkey wakes up. It's a pretty funny scene. And he's like all over the house being all crazy.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how much the dad was in on the hazing on the farm though, right? Because like I feel like it was mostly Theo. And that was part of the reason the dad kind of turns in the end and is like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
But they reveal basically the scheme to the dad and is like, Theo, you're fired. Theo's the farmhand who's an asshole. And they get rid of Travis and all is forgiven. And then finally, Rebecca is about to come clean about this ruse, and Crawl again saves her and is like, oh, like we talked it over and we decided that we're gonna wait on setting a date and like just see how things go. And it's like, okay, again, like we don't. I mean, like I think the truth is would still be, you know, wanted here. It's like I don't think anyone's gonna be mad. And I mean, maybe they will. I don't know. But so that's it. And then, you know, is this just kind of sweet movie where everyone loves Crawl? And then I guess they go back to school and we'll see what happens.
I love the movies that
rest of the year
end on like a picture.
I know.
It's like family photo. And they're all like hamming it up from the camera. Cute. So the end. Question for you, sweetie. Did they make it?
I mean, I don't like know because it's going to be awkward. I mean, like if they stay together and then they have to stay together the whole year because otherwise then they'll break up and then be living next door to each other and he's her RA. So it's like double awkward. I don't know. I hope they make it, but
I mean,
they seem like an unlikely pair, but I guess in the end it works.
Does Crawl ever make it out of college is the other question.
I don't. I mean, he's a 6-year student. Wants to, you know, has majored in everything and seems like that's his place. He's had a guy like that.
He's majors in some weird things. One was
CPR.
CPR, another was karate.
Well, they were jokes, but yeah, karate, yeah. But we had a guy like that at UMass, Steve Craffey. Yes. What's up? You were around. He was around for a while, and it was just like the joke of like they're never like this is just their life. Like they love this partying.
He might be still there,
and Steve Craffey could still be at UMass. We'll see. But it'd be so funny if we like got his number right now. We're like, let's do a live call on the air.
He's like, what? I'm home on Thanksgiving break.
Totally. Totes. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So I think the part I found to be the most heartwarming is usually the part in all these movies where like finally whoever the final piece of the puzzle is that needs to like decide that they like this person. So like in Mary Poppins' case, the dad, and then in this case the dad. It's usually the dad because dads are usually like, I'm a dad and I'm mad. Like it's always like how dads work in the 80s and 90s movies. But in this scene, they're like going fishing with like the older grandpa who's the dad's dad. So Pappy, that's Pappy who likes to whittle wood. And then basically they kind of get into an argument where like the dad's like, I like fishing this way. And the Pappy's like, well, it's wrong. This is the way to do it. And he's like, I hate when you tell me what to do just because I do something different. And then Crawl says like a very intuitive thing, which is like, oh, kind of like how you're mean to Zach because he doesn't like what you like. And he's like, what? Because like he is very mean to the little brother because he plays video games and like doesn't like to farm. So that really like changes something in the dad. And then Pappy starts having like a heart attack or something. And, you know, everything gets all serious and you're like, Pappy, no. But he ends up being okay. I'm not sure what this spell was that they say he had, but like the magic pills revived him. And Crawl about to give him mouth to mouth. Which is like that classic gay panic thing again in the 90s, right? Of like, oh no, like a guy kissing me is gonna wake me out of my death.
Was kissing me.
Yeah, he's like, if I had to choose between death or kissing you, I'd have died, or like something like that. Yeah, I would die. So yeah, I thought that scene was sweet. Just to show Crawl's depth.
Yeah,
really.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I love the turkey scene, the square dance scene. That was amazing, except I'm just not totally 100% behind him making the mom look like a Caribbean hooker.
He's so into the like Carmen Miranda vibes and like he was a Chiquita Banana or like Carmen Miranda for Halloween, and it's like kind of the same concept here again with the scarves. He's like obsessed with the scarves as like the headband thing. It was too much. It was too much flair.
Too much. Obviously, her makeup didn't look that great. And also, what season is this? It's Thanksgiving, and she like rolls in like it's like
in South Dakota. Yeah, what?
Very, very odd.
Minute.
So that,
Wait a minute.
So that was funny. I also liked all the scenes in LA, particularly the mud wrestling scene. Just want to put that right here, right now on my bucket list. I love to try a mud wrestle.
Wow. I never would have in a bikini?
Not necessarily, but just like, what is that about? What is the deal?
It's just
Mud
for guys
wrestling.
to watch two women in barely clothes.
Oh,
wrestling.
it's a weird thing. It's
Dumb
a weird
thing. So, fun fact though about that is that the woman who was like the wrestler who pinned him down, like Thumper Bunny or whatever, is actually one of the famous women who was in Glow, the wrestling series. Who one of the characters was based on in the Netflix TV series,
Okay, cool.
Mount Fuji or something.
Yeah.
I think in the Netflix show it was like Machu Picchu or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so fun fact.
Yeah, that was
Cool
crazy.
cameo.
Yeah, so the LA scenes were really fun. And then I was kind of obsessed with the one where he so he finds this like a vehicle underneath this big like sheet. And he like gets into it and he's like, ooh, a tape. And he puts in this like John Denver tape and he starts playing it. And he's like, it's that song, like, thank God I'm a country boy. Put this on the Large Marcena Spotify playlist. You'll have it in your head too. And he goes like nuts with it. And it's like a corn thrasher or something like that. So he like takes it in the cornfield and he's like blasting the tunes. And he's like, I'm in the cornfield. Get me some butter. Like, blah, 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 doing all this like crazy shit. And then they like go like a sky high view from like a crop duster that's flying by, and he had like written crawl like in the cornfield like with the thrasher. Did you notice that?
Well, was that on the list of chores to do?
No.
To take this giant thing
No.
out? Or was he just like doing...
He just stumbled upon it and was like, cool.
Yeah, it was that scene was weird.
Yeah.
Okay. But you liked it? It was a good scene?
Yeah, good scene. Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher. Okay, never mind.
I liked how he referred to, there's a lot of boob talk in this, as cones. Haven't heard that one before.
And nugs?
Yep.
I think. Yeah, very interesting.
Yep. I don't know. That's like an LA thing. Somebody let us know.
Maybe.
And then also shout out to print your own banners. Okay, so I think we've talked about this before, but at the airport, they print out a banner for Rebecca that says like, welcome home, Rebecca. But the little brother prints like another side that says like, go home, Rebecca, or like, go away, Rebecca, or something like that. Anyway,
I love it.
It was a
we had
print your own banner. We had this at our house. It was a Looney Tunes print your own banner. It was like Looney Tunes print shop or something like that, because you could make like signs and stuff. My dad was obsessed with it. So it was like, looking back, the worst quality like imaginable, like gray, black and white, you know, this is no color printer.
Yeah. I mean, back then it was pretty great.
Yeah, but it would be these like Looney Tunes characters. So you could put like Tweety Bird saying like happy birthday on a banner, and you would have the paper that was connected. You know, it wasn't like this single sheet paper. So it was all connected, so you could make these banners. Oh man, that was like the thing to do. So great.
We could also, I feel like we used it for like school projects.
We did.
And like I think you could like print out anything. But yeah, it was pretty snazzy little program.
Pretty snazzy. So it looks like the brother had something like that, but it wasn't a Looney Tunes one.
No. Sorry.
Sorry.
My other favorite line is when he got in that big truck thing, he was like, mischief, and like I think I'm just gonna like say that whenever I'm like doing something mischievous now.
One of my favorite ones, what he was saying, like he wanted to go like backpacking around Europe, and he's like eat the cheese. Remember that part?
What cheese in Italy?
In like Europe.
Just all the cheese.
Yeah,
Just
all the
cheese
cheese, and he like went and the wine, and oh my god.
He just had like a lot of really funny little like moments like that like I can see people having like inside jokes for like in the same way that we do with many of our favorite movies. So can definitely see that for a lot of these. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, super, super cute, pleasantly surprised. Thanks for the fans who recommended this. We never would have dawned on us that this is a Thanksgiving movie. And glad we watched it. Faux show.
Yeah. The last fun fact I have is that you may recall that Brad from Teen Witch is also in the Saved by the Bell, the Hawaiian couple episodes. And obviously so is Kelly Kapowski. So this movie was basically like a reunion for them, which I thought was very sweet. Because the Hawaiian episode was like a year before this, I think. So yeah, good times.
Good times. Yeah.
Love
Sad
the
to see
full
that
circle.
guy be like evil, but he played it well. Pretty much a dipshit.
I think he's evil in the Hawaiian one too.
Right.
So,
Okay. He was evil in that.
It's like it was like his type at that point. He had like one nice guy, Brad, in Teen Witch, but then I guess he
Yep.
became an asshole
I
in all
can
the
see
other
it.
roles, maybe.
Yep. I remember trying to steal Kelly's grandfather's hotel.
Right. Jerk.
You know what?
And Kelly.
And Kelly, I think I mentioned this before, but what crazy crimping job she has on her hair in that Saved by the Bell super special.
Hawaiian
Yeah.
series, yeah. Yeah, what is it?
Always
What do they
had
call
bug me. Like, oh my, her hair is like
Yeah,
as long
it's
as
pretty
mine,
wild.
like way too long, but it's all crimped. And I was just like, wow, it's a lot of crimp.
it? Yeah. Totes.
It's a lot of crimp. It's
crazy on
crimping
the
my
crimps.
style. All right, guys.
But yeah, do you love this movie? We assume you do because, as Sweetie said, everybody told us they love this movie.
Everybody loved it.
Tell us what your favorite part is. Come find us on Twitter at the Sweetie Club or on Instagram at Large Marge. Send us. Thank you, as always, for listening. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving back.
Gobble, gobble.
Bye.